There are people in Guatemala today who are explicitly our enemies, and this is their handiwork. This is what used to be the United States Aid Mission Garage in downtown Guatemala City. On New Year's Eve, it was invaded by communist terrorists. They destroyed 20 American automobiles and a traveling library donated by the citizens of Montgomery, Alabama. The same night, the guerrillas touched off an explosion at the American military mission and tried to set fire to an American refinery. Thus, Guatemalan politics continue following a melancholy routine. The pendulum is still swinging, and the new insurgents want it to swing away from our side. To them, the Alliance for Progress is a capitalist abstraction. Guatemala today is in a state of siege. Since February, all of its civil liberties have been suspended. Guatemala is subject to terrorism from serious insurgents. They have come close to killing Colonel Harold Hauser, chief of the American military mission. They have blown up a truck of soldiers on a downtown street. They have assassinated the chief of the secret police. They have held up the office of the United Fruit Company for an $18,000 haul. The CIA says Fidel Castro contributed $200,000 in 1963 alone, and it is estimated that the guerrillas now number 500, many in these hills. Their chief is a former Guatemalan army officer, one of the leaders of an unsuccessful revolt in 1960. Since then, Guatemala's police and army have been hunting him, but they can't catch him. NBC's Robert Rogers, not without difficulty, did. Rogers found him and interviewed him. His name is Marco Antonio Llanzosa.
Comandante Llanzosa, why did you take to the mountains in 1960?
Comandante Llanzosa, ¿por qué se fue usted a las montañas después de 1960?
Sí, el inicio de la lucha se inició en el 60, ¿no? Y uno de los motivos que nos impulsaron a nosotros a irnos a las montañas a pelear.
The fighting began in 1960.
La presencia de una base.
One of the main reasons we went to the mountains to begin our struggle was the presence of the United States base at Helvetia, the Helvetia plantation, near Retauleo, to be more exact.
Soldados extranjeros, anticastristas, ¿no? Mercenarios.
There, American officers were training anti-Castro Cuban mercenaries with the cooperation of the Irígoras Fuentes government. That is the one and only thing for which we are grateful to the Central Intelligence Agency. If it were not for their interference in Guatemala at that time, well, we might not be fighting in the mountains today. They gave our movement its determination.
Commandant, there have been constant rumors of your people being trained in Cuba. This is not true.
No.
No.
No, por lo menos aquí en Guatemala.
At least for the present here in Guatemala, there are no people who have been trained in Cuba fighting with us. Maybe in some other countries, but here in Guatemala, no.
Where did the officers in your guerrilla movement become such expert jungle fighters?
Bueno, el mejor entrenamiento es la lucha misma.
Well, the best training is combat itself. But we have some officers who were trained in the United States.
Fort Benning.
At Fort Benning. The training they received there was very good, excellent.
Con ese entrenamiento que recibieron.
With that training and the support they received from the Guatemalan people,
las guerrillas fueron soldados invencibles.
They are invincible.
How much military support is the United States giving to the government here?
Por lo menos les ha equipado en estos últimos 2 años alrededor de unos 4 batallones.
During the past 2 years, at least they have completely equipped 4 battalions, more than a regiment.
Comandante, in the last few weeks, your organization has burned the American aid garage here, tried to blow up the military mission, and tried to kill the chief of the American military mission here.
El atentado contra el coronel Hauser no es porque sea norteamericano o gringo, pues.
Colonel Hauser was attacked not because he is an American, a gringo, but because he represents. He's a member of an army of the United States forces that are fighting in Vietnam.
También el coronel Hauser es uno de los militares.
Also, Colonel Hauser is one of the American officers advising the government forces, helping them repress the peasants in the areas where our guerrillas operate.
Las guerrillas guatemaltecas. Ahora, del asunto del atentado contra la misión americana, pues es la misma, tiene las mismas, fue por el mismo motivo, ¿no?
As for the attack on the military mission,
Norteamericanos.
these Americans are instructing the government forces in how to fight our movement.
De Guatemala para combatirnos a nosotros. Entonces creemos también que es justo atacarlos a ellos, ¿no? No porque
I think it's only right that we should attack them, not because they are Americans, but because of what they are doing in our country.
El atentado contra los vehículos y el garage de la AGI también es por lo mismo.
The attack on the aid vehicles and the garage was for the same reason. We oppose United States policy in Guatemala because it is an interventionist policy. The Americans come here and put presidents into office and remove them.
Y ponen presidentes.
Comandante, last week your men blew up an army truck right in the center of Guatemala City, and over the past months have assassinated a number of high government officials. Do you consider yourself a terrorist?
Sí, habría que...
Well, we have to study very carefully the word terrorist.
Terrorista, ¿no? Yo sé que a cualquiera le puede causar indignación, no sé qué.
I know that anyone can feel indignant when a truckload of soldiers is blown up in a city street.
Con soldados. Pero hay que ver por qué.
But you must consider the reason for our attack, the why.
Tal vez hacía unos 20 días que una unidad a la que pertenecía
Maybe 20 days ago,
habían subido a una
the unit to which those soldiers belonged went into the mountains of Izabal.
y habían asesinado
They tortured and murdered the inhabitants.
a la gente a los habitantes de estas aldeas, y habían violado también
They also raped a young girl before her whole family.
a la mamá y los hermanos y cuñados. Entonces, como represalia por esas atrocidades que están cometiendo en la montaña, fue que se hizo ese
So we have to
ataque.
do something. To destroy a truckload of soldiers or to execute an enemy does not give us a pleasure. But we must do these things. They serve a higher political purpose.
What is wrong with U.S. policy as far as Comandante Jan Sosa is concerned? Why is he opposed to U.S. policy, the Alianza para el Progreso?
Ahora, en cuanto a la Alianza para el Progreso, pues yo creo que sí fue inspirada con una buena intención.
Well, I believe that the Alliance for Progress was inspired by the good intentions. But it is too late.
Pedía ciertos requisitos.
In order to function at all, the alliance needs certain basic preconditions.
Introducir reformas al sistema.
They have to present tax reform, agrarian reform.
¿Y qué pasó?
But as soon as these reforms are attempted, the ruling classes, the oligarchy, the large landowners, and their allies, especially here in the case in Guatemala, they begin to maneuver against them.
Y no dejan que haya un avance, pues.
So they stop all progress. How then can we make progress peacefully? It's impossible.
No se puede.
Can be done.
Pacíficamente no se puede.